Hey, wrestling fans, welcome to 360 Fanatic Unleashed, Episode 2. I am your host, Lance Brock. Thanks for tuning in to the second episode of the newest 360 Wrestling Podcast, 360 Fanatic Unleashed, for Thursday, November 19th, 2020. And on today's episode, I'm going to be talking about this year's Pro Wrestling Illustrated PWI Women 100. And if you're watching on the YouTube stream right now, you can see, got it right here. Got it in the mail last week, actually. I believe, yeah, it was last week. The subscription, gonna talk about the list, gonna go down the whole 100 of them and discuss it right here on this episode of Fanatic Unleashed. And once again, just thanks for tuning in, whether you're listening to the audio podcast or the YouTube stream, either one, I appreciate it, whichever you're listening or watching on. And before I get into this issue of Pro Wrestling Illustrated right now, just want to talk about something else that came in the mail today, actually, and I hopefully plan on discussing on a future episode of Fanatic Unleashed. And that is, I've been talking about it on 360 Wrestling Fanatic and got it right here. Just came out yesterday. The new Young Bucks book, Young Bucks Killing the Business from the backyards to the big leagues. Got it right here. Finally, I pre-ordered it back in September, I think. Came today in the mail. And so far, I've heard nothing but good things about it. And I'm not really a fast reader, but I am definitely going to check this out. And hopefully on a future episode of Fanatic Unleashed, going to have the first ever book review in 360 Wrestling Podcast history. So hopefully, I'm not sure when, as of right now, that book review, that episode of it is going to be taking place. But hopefully you will tune in for that. And I definitely recommend, I haven't even read it yet, but I'm sure it's going to be great. And let me just say this now. I'm already going to go out and say I recommend it. Like I said, have not read it yet. I don't know even if I like the book yet. I mean, I'm sure I'm going to, but I definitely recommend check it out. YoungBucksBook.com. Definitely. I'm sure everybody's going to like it, except if you're Jim Cornette, of course. But I seriously doubt that Jim Cornette will be reading it. I doubt that he got an advance copy or anything. I didn't either, unfortunately, but I heard some people have. Some of the important people in the wrestling media. I'm a nobody, unfortunately. But, all right, enough stalling, enough talking, enough stuff. So let's get into it. Once again, the January 2021 issue of Pro Wrestling Illustrated. Once again, I apologize if you're listening to the audio podcast right now. You can't see, but on the YouTube stream, I'm showing the cover. Sasha Banks and Bayley. Bayley number 1, Sasha number 2. Sorry for the spoilers, but gonna get into the list, gonna run it down, gonna break it down right now on this episode of Fanatic Unleashed. Also, I see it right here. Good article about Orange Cassidy. Just want to point that out real quick. Once again, on the YouTube stream, I'm showing it right now. And big fan of Orange Cassidy. I've talked about that. And this wasn't planned. I was going to talk about any of the articles, really, but another good one on Eric Young right here. Sorry, just a big fan of Pro Wrestling Illustrated. I know a lot of people don't buy magazines these days. If they do, it's the digital edition, let alone the print edition. But I definitely recommend, if you don't have a subscription to Pro Wrestling Illustrated, definitely check it out. And either on the or get the digital edition or go in the stores and buy it. Or I remember back in the day they used to say when they used to advertise for the WWF and the WCW magazines, used to talk about check your local newsstands. I mean, I don't think, I could be wrong, but I don't even think newsstands, whatever they're called, exist anymore, do they? I doubt it, I would say. So find it in the stores, subscribe, get the digital edition, PWI-online.com. Pro Wrestling Illustrated. All right, enough stalling. Let's just get into. Sorry about that. I apologize for stalling so much. But let's get into it. 100. Max the Impaler, number one, from Dayton, Ohio. I have heard of her. I wouldn't say I'm real familiar with her, but I have heard of her. 99. Elena Black, who I have seen a little bit of. Seen her on the last Shimmer show, which took place over the collective weekend, which I did a recap of on 360 Wrestling Fanatic. She's number 99. Number 98, Holidead, another one I've seen a little bit of. And 97, the Killer Bay, Heather Monroe, who I've seen quite a bit in Championship Wrestling for Hollywood. She's competed a little bit in AEW and has made appearances for WWE, Impact Wrestling, and Ring of Honor in her career. 96, we have Marty Bell. Number 95, Veda Scott, who, as not as a wrestler for AEW, but at one time was on commentary for AEW Dark alongside Excalibur and Taz, but lately she has not been on the show, which I'm pretty disappointed about, to be honest. I think she did a pretty good job with Taz and Excalibur. I hope they put her back on the commentary team. If not, let her wrestle. I like Veda Scott, by the way. 94, we've got Willow Nightingale. Number 93, Jody Threat. And I kind of familiar with her a little bit. I know she has competed in Clash Wrestling after it was after I have stopped working for Clash Wrestling, but so I didn't have a chance to catch her live, but I know she has competed for Clash back when they were still running, before pre-COVID, of course. But number 92, we got Candy Lee. 91, Jessica Troy. Coming in at 90, Nina Samuels. 89, Killer Kelly, who, this was before the issue came out, so it's not in here, or after the issue came out, excuse me. I understand she's going to be in the tournament to crown the new Impact Wrestling Knockouts Tag Team Champions. 88, Lady Shani from AAA. And 87, Danny Luna. 86, Trisha Dora. 85, Giselle Shaw. 84, we have Liv Morgan, the first WWE superstar on the list. 83, we got Indy Hartwell. Excuse me, well, I'll turn the page here. 82, we have Session, Moth Martina, who I've seen a little bit of. And what I have seen of her, I'm a fan. 81, Divine. 80, Casey Spinelli, who I'm another fan of. And let's see, number 79, Zoe Lucas. 78, Siri. 77, Nicole Matthews. Number 76, we have Lady Marvela. 75, Yalami Exo. 74, Madison Miles. 73, Marcelia. 72, Solo Darling. Number 71, High-End, who is now the Heart of Shimmer champion, by the way, which was also a part of the Shimmer at the Collective show I recapped recently. So if you have missed that episode for some reason, I definitely recommend you go check it out. 70, we have Leela Hirsch, who I've been impressed with as of late. I've seen her on Warrior Wrestling and Shimmer. Nia Jax is coming in at 69. 68, Hiru Matsumoto. Sorry about that if I mess up some of the names. 67, Tasha Steelz, who has been in Impact Wrestling as of late, teaming with Kiera Hogan. 66, Ashley Vox. 65, Utami Hayakashida. 64, Yini. 63, Feel the Glow, Naomi. 62, Shazza McKenzie. 61, Charlie Evans. And 60, we have the partner of Tasha Steelz and Impact Wrestling, Kiera Hogan. Billy Kay is number 59. 58, it is Alley Cat. 56, Sonya Deville, who has now recently left the WWE. And the way she was written out was she lost Loser Leaves WWE no DQ match to Mandy Rose at SummerSlam. 55, Alexia Nicole. 54, Galia. 53, Natalia. 52, Millie McKenzie. Mally, 51. And halfway at 50, Lainey Luck, who I have seen a little bit on the independent scene, heard of her anyway. 49, Rhea O'Reilly. 48 is the bad girl, Penelope Ford, All Elite Wrestling. 47, Jamie Hayter. We got 46 from NXT, Shotzi Blackheart, who I'm a big fan of actually. Was a fan of hers back before she signed with WWE, back in Shine. 45, we have Toni Storm. 44, we have got Su Yung, who recently had a brief stint as Impact Wrestling Knockouts champion. 43, Lacey Evans. 42, Rosemary. 41, Faye Jackson. 42, Nicole Savoy. 39, Big Swole, also from AEW. 38, Priscilla Kelly, who honestly I'm another big fan of. She's made a few appearances in AEW, faced Dr. Britt Baker, but to be honest, I'm really not sure why she's not signed by any major company, whether it's AEW, WWE, Impact, Ring of Honor. I don't know why she's not signed, to be honest. Very good talent in the ring, and I think she deserves to be signed. 37, B. Priestley, who of course had made appearances for AEW. 36, Mia Yim. Now, I have to admit, I can't think of her name right now, but a part of Retribution on Monday Night Raw. It's Reckoning, right? Yeah. Now known as Reckoning, a part of Retribution on Raw. 35, we have Lufisto, someone who I've been a fan of for quite a while now. 34, Candice LeRae. 33, Jessica Havoc. 32, Eva Lise, 31, Chris Statlander from AEW, The Alien. 30. Now, I'm just going to say I think this person's a little low on the list. I think she should be retired, in my opinion, but it's the current Impact Wrestling Knockouts champion, Deanna Prasso. I mean, I've been very impressed with her. She has improved very much. And I honestly, just my opinion anyway, think she should be ranked higher on the list anyway. But if you agree with me, disagree with me on anything on this list, let me know in the comments below if you're watching on the YouTube stream or whichever podcatcher you're listening to. If they have a comment section, let me know if you agree or disagree with me or this list, or let me know who you think should be right on the list. Just let me know your opinion. Number 29, Mercedes Martinez. Number 28, Momo Watanabe. 27, Alexa Bliss. Of course, this was before she aligned with The Fiend. 26, Tegan Knox. 25, Michigan's own AK-47, Allison Kay, former NWA Women's Champion. 24, Dakota Kai. 23, Bianca Belair. 22 is Dr. Britt Baker. 21, Kairi Sane. Now we are up to the top 20. And coming in at number 20, it is Nikki Cross. Number 19, Kylie Ray, who, of course, I mentioned on 360 Wrestling Fanatic as of late. Supposedly now, apparently, is retired from pro wrestling. I may have talked about it already. Her showing at Bound for Glory, out of the business now. So 19, Kylie Ray. Number 18 is Kaylee Ray. 17, Taya Valkyrie. 16, the Native Beast Nyla Rose. 15, Kimber Lee. 14, the former NWA Women's Champion Thunder Rosa. 22, Shayna Baszler, one half of the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions along Nia Jax. 12, Jordan Grace. 11, Rhea Ripley. And we are now getting into the top 10 of the PWI Women's 100. Mayu Etani, Io Shirai at number 9. Number 8, we have Riho, who, of course, the first ever AEW Women's Champion, has not been seen recently with COVID and everything, but hopefully we'll see her back soon on AEW, on Dynamite Dark pay-per-views. 7, Tessa Blanchard, who, other than Warrior Wrestling as of late, hasn't really been seen in wrestling too much. Of course, the first ever woman to be Impact Wrestling World Champion, and of course that ended up kind of ending up the way it did, her leaving the company. But number 7, Tessa Blanchard. Number 6, the AEW Women's Champion Hikaru Shida. Number 5, we have Sasha Banks. Number 4, who hasn't really been seen recently, but is Charlotte Flair. Number 3, we have Asuka. And I'm just going to show the top 6 right here before getting to the top 2. Hope you can see that if you're watching on the YouTube stream. If you're listening to the audio podcast, I apologize because obviously you can't see this right now. Showing the top 6. All right, we got number 2, the mom-to-be, coming up soon, Becky Lynch. And number 1, the role model, Bayley. All right, let's just get another shot for the YouTube stream. Right there, got Bayley and Becky Lynch. And there's also a good interview here with Bayley in the hot seat, number 1. Right here, as you can see that. Sorry, I'm not good at getting focused on the camera and everything. So Bayley, number 1. I definitely recommend this issue. Once again, Pro Wrestling Illustrated, YouTube stream. Once again, there's the cover. If you haven't got this issue yet, I definitely recommend it. If not, what's taking you so long? Hurry up. I don't know if it's on sale yet. I noticed, I know hopefully stores near you have it, but I noticed the Walmart here, I think it was around the time COVID started. I haven't seen Pro Wrestling Illustrated there at the Walmart since then. Since the beginning of COVID, I think it was. But that's it. That's the Pro Wrestling Illustrated 2020 PWI Women's 100. Coming up, the next issue is the first ever Tag Team 50. The top 50 tag teams in the world of pro wrestling. Definitely looking forward to that. It's already been revealed or announced, I guess you can say, the number 1 tag team. If you don't want to hear it, turn off now. Or stop watching the stream if you don't want to be spoiled. Spoiler alert right now. Stop listening. It's the end of the show anyway. But if you don't want to hear who the number 1 tag team is right now, you can stop listening. Won't hurt my feelings. Once again, spoiler alert. But the number 1 tag team in the first ever PWI Tag Team 50 is none other than FTR, the former AEW Tag Team Champions, the former NXT Tag Team Champions. And I have no complaints with it. I'm going to wait to talk about it more when I get the issue to do another episode Fanatic Unleashed right here. The audio podcast, Anchor.fm, all the other podcatchers, and YouTube as a live stream as well. But once again, speaking of Fanatic Unleashed, I hope to have a book review, as I already mentioned. Young Bucks killing the business from the backyards to the big leagues. I know I keep talking about it, but I've been looking forward to this book for quite a while. It's been promoted on Dynamite. It's been promoted on Being the Elite quite a bit. I've heard good things about it already. Like I said, the important people in the wrestling media. Not that I'm in the wrestling media, but I wish I was though. But I'm not like the great guys like Dave Meltzer, John Pollock, Brian Alvarez, whoever else there is. I'm just a guy who does a terrible podcast, but I love doing it anyway. So, anyway, Fanatic Unleashed. That's all for this episode. Thanks for listening. I hope to be back soon. Like I said, I'm not really a fast reader, so I'm not sure when that book review is coming. Hope to be back soon with another episode. The flagship show of 360 Wrestling Podcast, 360 Wrestling Fanatic. I'm not sure if I'm going to be recapping SmackDown tomorrow night. Who knows? But I do hope to recap this Sunday's Survivor Series coming up on pay-per-view. The one night Raw and SmackDown go head-to-head. Got the new WWE Champion Drew McIntyre after defeating Randy Orton. This Monday night on Raw will be taking on Roman Reigns from SmackDown. We got the New Day taking on the Street Profits. Of course, we got the classic Survivor Series matches. And that is all. Sunday Survivor Series. Hope to have a recap of it on 360 Wrestling Fanatic. But until then, hope to be back soon here on Fanatic Unleashed.